How's it going, everybody? Are you guys like me and you spent all of your training budget on a new gun? Well, shame on you. Are you also like me and you've hit a plateau in your shooting and you can't figure out how to take you to the next level? Well, today we're going to go over a cheap, cost-effective way to maybe improve your shooting a little bit. Now, before anybody says it in the comments, I know dry fire is free, but it can only take you so far. You can work on your trigger control, you can work on your sight alignment, you don't really do much for your recoil control. So instead of dry fire, I'm gonna do something a lot more fun. I'm gonna use this Ruger Mark IV, and I've got roughly about 200 rounds of ammo that I'm gonna see if I can't improve my shooting any. Why 22, you ask? Well, it's simple. For starters, 22 is cheap. I can buy a brick of about 200 rounds for as much, if not less, than what I'd pay for 50 rounds of 9mm. Number two, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, let's be honest, it's fun. And finally, because I can focus on my fundamentals without dealing with the concussive boom or the recoil that's typical of your normal carry rounds. All right, so I know I just said that we're gonna shoot our 22, but I need some sort of a control to tell me if I'm actually making any sort of improvement. So for that control, at the start of my little shooting here and at the end of it, I'm gonna shoot a Mozambique drill to test my speed and precision. And then I'm gonna shoot strong hand only at 10 yards for 10 shots to see if I can't measure how accurate I am. Then we'll have a pretty good basis to know if I've actually made any improvement today. So let's get into it. All right, Mozambique first, and we're gonna start at the low ready position. All right, here we go. Beep. Let's go see how that went. All right, so as you can see here from the target, wasn't the greatest, but that gives us something to work with. All right, now I'm gonna do strong hand only, slow fire, again at 10 yards. And I've got a little range to field sticker right there just to give me a solid aim point. Let's see how that goes. Guess I should have oiled up the gun before I came out here. All right, we're gonna try that again now that I oiled up the gun. Let that be a lesson to you folks. Clean your stuff. All right, so there's that. As you saw, there's definite room for improvement. I've told you plenty of times before on this channel, I'm not a pistol shooter. That's why we're doing this video today. So now I've got a shoot and see set up down there, and I'm just gonna start shooting rounds and try and make some improvement. And we got 200 rounds, give or take, so we'll just go until I feel like I'm doing better. That was quite a bit better. Let's try this one-handed, see if I can do any better one. Probably not, I'm pretty shaky. All right, let's try and shoot a Mozambique with this 22. Ready? Beep. Do it again. Beep. Beep. Looks like we got one left in there, so we'll put it in the head, why not? By the way, this is not a review of this little 22, but if you're in the market for a 22 pistol and you don't mind spending about the same as you would on a 9mm pistol, I think this is the way to go personally. It's very reliable, very accurate, and when you put a can on it, it's a whole lot of fun to shoot. Really fun to hear them ricochets with the 22. Don't worry, we got plenty of backstop back there, so we're not hurting anything. All right, so now I've got a little bit different of a target set up down there. I've got these Easy 2C count up targets. I think we're gonna have some fun with it. And basically, there's a number correlating with each different shape here. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna shoot however many rounds is on the number into each shape. This will help us out determine if we're any good at doing transitions or anything like that. All right, let's go see how terrible that is. All right, so you guys saw how terrible that was. So slight change of plans. Instead of shooting this multiple times to see how bad I am at all different ways, all we're gonna do is we're just gonna try and blow out that number 1 on the target. Must be getting pretty dirty because it's not wanting to lock open anymore. Let's go see if that was any better. All right, so after shooting that round, we can see that I'm consistently shooting low. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can get that 1 all blocked out. All right, folks, now we're gonna shoot our same 2 drills that we started out the show with, and we're gonna move on. We didn't quite block out the number 1 on that target. However, that gun was getting so hot between the heat and how many rounds I just put through it that it was getting kind of hard to hold on to. So let's go ahead and shoot our Mozambique and see if we improved any. Beep. I'd say that's an improvement. Now let's try our 10 round slow fire. All right, let's go check it out. All right, so what did we learn today? Well, 1, we learned oil your guns. Don't be like me. 2, we learned that, I think at least, 22 is just as effective, if not more effective, than dry fire, and it's a whole lot more fun. So if you learned anything today, let us know down in the comments. If you think this video was dumb, also tell me in the comments. All right, folks, so if you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is going to be to go to FromRangeToField.com and buy yourself a shirt or a coffee mug or some stickers or something. The cheapest way to support the channel is to give me a like and a comment and go ahead and subscribe to us. As always, I'm Josh, and you've been watching From Range to Field. Have a nice day.